My name is Dale Howard. I'm a volunteer at the Perrin Air Force Base Museum. I'm a veteran of the Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and I'm here to give you an orientation to this display that we have of that war. This is a rendition of the ground war, the different military units that fought the war and how they made movement. We have here the newspaper articles on that were from the Denver Post and the U.S. News of President Bush when he declared the war. This cabinet is just full of souvenirs and different memorabilia from Desert Storm. These are the medals that were given by the major countries. These other items in here are different souvenirs that people have brought home. We have money. We have a deck of cards that was issued by the U.S. government. And there's 52 cards in the deck. Each one of them have a picture of starting with Saddam Hussein, the dictator of Iraq, and all of his henchmen, all of his cabinet members and the generals that became war criminals. And each one of those were handed out in Iraq, and if you captured one of those people, you were given money from the United States government. These bottom here, this is a Iraqi Army Republican Guard officer's uniform, a uniform of a major general. All of the red insignia on there and the red triangles represent the Republican Guard, which was his supposedly elite divisions. This is a battlefield pickup. These are pieces of equipment taken off the battlefield. This is an American uniform called a chocolate chip uniform. There's 6 different colors on this uniform. And it was made to issue to our elite troops, known as the Rapid Deployment Force, that were to, if we got into a war with the Soviet Union, then this would be the uniform they would have worn on the steppes of Russia. Fortunately, that never happened, but they had these uniforms in stock, and they gave them to the early troops that deployed over to the Persian Gulf. They ran out of them when the 7th Corps came from Germany, and all the armored divisions came over to fight the war. And so they're very, very popular uniforms, and all the soldiers wanted them. And at the end of the war, one of the things that the U.S. Army did was make sure that every soldier had one of these uniforms. These 2 items here are self-explanatory, but this is an American combat helmet with eye protection, goggles for eye protection. This is an Iraqi helmet taken off the battlefield with a gas mask. This is a gas mask taken off the battlefield. The Persian Gulf War was the first war that the United States truthfully fought having to worry about chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons. That was actually the purpose of the war, because it was alleged that Saddam Hussein had amassed weapons of mass destruction, especially chemical weapons. So we were over there to deprive him of those weapons and destroy them. And that was actually the reason we went to war with Saddam. This case here represents the Iraq and Afghanistan wars that started in 2004 when Saddam Hussein, who was still in power in Iraq, he started harassing and defying the United Nations troops that were over there, called the no-fly zone. And so President Bush sent troops over there to invade the country and to remove Saddam Hussein from power. And this display case is exhibits of things, of souvenirs and items that came from that war.